Definitely think he's got a great chance. The course behind us is definitely set up for Daniel Durs's style of riding. It's big, it's fast, and it's full of places where Daniel can do a lot of his 720 tricks. So look out for those big moves today, but he's got some competition.
Definitely has competition. We're going to look back at the standings from Baltimore, and you can see just how deep the field is. You got Daniel Dares up top, Ryan Gutler, a real resurgence from this rider, an 05. Remember, he won the overall in dirt and in park. He's back up top. And Mike Spinner, though, this is what is exciting me. Mike Spinner, there's a lot of rumors swirling around, and swirling is actually a good term. And moments away from the start here in Bike Park, it's going to be an amazing event. And now it is time for us to begin this competition. Alessandro Barbaro from Italy got into riding because his dad did not want him to ride motocross. His father was a motocross rider. Said, no, man, I don't want you doing it. It's too dangerous. So what does he do, Jamie?
Picks up a BMX bike like any other European rider. Amazing guy, real good competitor on the European circuit, had some great success trying to crack into the final, and he's managed to make it, you know. He's going to be explosive straight from the off, and it's a treat to watch this kid ride.
Right, we'll get 2 runs. The best run score will be there. The one that will propel them forward. They get to drop a run, and
nice,
man.
Steady 360 double whip. Definitely feel like he's getting stuck in the middle of the course right now, Kenan, but you know, he's got the next half of his run dialed. Windscreen wiper, tail whip to tail whip back, forcing it regular to opposite. That's a pretty incredible trick. Matt Sparks' original there, and Zach Warden popped it off on vert last night. It was nice to see.
Right now, as Jamie mentioned, he is
wow! Tough break.
Spine.
That was huge. You won't see too many people today doing 360 double tail whips over that spine.
He had some great tricks. There was a couple of bobbles in there, and as you mentioned, Jamie, did get stuck in the course.
I definitely felt like he worked just the jump box, but that's contest experience, you know. This is his first final. He's pretty pumped to be here. And look at this double whip straight off. Nice, steady and smooth. And then going for the same trick but over the spine. Watch pumping the legs, double whip, catching that. Just overcooked it a little bit. His bike went past and then his body wasn't quite there. But yeah, good start for him. First contest that he's ever made the final in here at the Dew Tour, and it's nice to see some international riders here this weekend, Kenan.
There are a lot of international. Next up, a younger rider, Drew Bezanzin. Now, he was at Woodward Camp last month. He's from Nova Scotia, and I asked him straight up, I said, how'd you get so good? He lives up there in Nova Scotia, long winters. He said, I built a mini ramp in my garage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you don't learn 360 bar spin drop-ins on a mini ramp like that. You know, that was ridiculous. It's a huge step down. It's got to be 8 feet. Just popping off flares like it's no big thing. But nice there. That's kind of an Indian to late whip, and that whip transfer was absolutely huge. Nice. 360 tail whip to late X up. He's got a good run going on, but he seems to be stuck in the same part of the course. Again, a lot of riders are prone to that, you know. They look for elements that they're quite safe with, and they don't try and venture out anywhere else. But you know, that was a good move there. Tribute to Eddie Roman, the Roman plan.
Right, old school street pioneer for bicycle park riders.
Nice.
And you know what else I have to mention, that you know, the box jump itself, you know, is quite long, and we're seeing a lot of the riders kind of clip that box jump. It's 15-foot deck. That's bigger than most.
Well, there's 2 box jumps. There's a 15-foot deck, and then there's the 11-foot top. And you know, you're going to see big tricks over both, but the majority of them will happen on the smaller one. It's got the steeper kicker, and that's what a lot of the guys like. Definitely feel he could have done a lot better in that run, Kenan. Stayed around the jump box a little bit too much. These first 2 guys out concentrated on the middle of the course. you're going to see with the guys to come, the
qualifiers, you'll see them use more of that course. And here's Marcus Tucker. Tucker is currently going to school for business, but he's talking about perhaps cutting back because he's having some success. He's making finals now, and he's looking to cut back on school and focus a little bit more on riding. He lives in Greenville.
You know, riding at Ryan's unit warehouse has definitely helped this guy a lot. He's become more rounded, and his tricks are very, very solid now. Years to come, he couldn't quite put it all together, but now he's the complete package, and he's got a lot of the tricks that he's borrowed from Nyquist. They're going to put him to good use in this final.
Nice.
Check that out. No-handed 720, fully extended. You know, this kid's really, really solid. You know, he has the same attributes as Rob Darden. You know, they both have that, you know, same solid style. When they go out about a trick, it's done right, and it's done perfect.
Definitely methodical.
Wow.
And a 720 landing high up on
That's
spine.
really, really hard to do. To land that high on a 720 coming off the spine, very good ride in there. That's the solid I was talking about, you know. Whenever he does a trick, it has a purpose. He wants to pull it the best he can. Nice double whip on the quarter there from Marcus.
Bit of a vert influence here on the park course.
And you notice he's moving around this course a lot more, you know, having a little bit of bobble on that last 360 bar spin, but you know, he can
picking scabs himself. Unfortunately, is James Foster. A tough week. You'll notice that Shiner, he looks a bit like a prize fighter, and that's because in bike dirt, James Foster went down, but before that, in prelims for Park, got himself stitches. A gust of wind came, blew him off his bike. He had to get himself stitched up, and if that wasn't bad enough, in dirt, Friday night, dropping in between runs to stay loose. If you watch him, he goes for the double whip, goes out of the screen, and fortunately for us, we don't see the carnage because he went down real hard. He had to call it for bike dirt, but Jamie, he is back here to compete in his first Park final. So he's iced up, he's been battered, thrown around, but BMXers are definitely the toughest. And you can see him now focusing himself. And you know what's going on in his mind? You know, you've been banged up.
Yeah, this kid's got an iron will, you know, just rough weekend for him, but he's just trying to put all that out of his mind. Right now, he doesn't need those negatives. It's all about being positive, and you know what? I really think he's going to light it up today. It could be a good day for James Foster. Starting out big there, Kenan. Superman Indian. Straight to double whip.
That's what took him out in dirt.
Definitely is. Making good though this time. Nice to see. It's got some good lines, you know, just being a bit different to everybody else. Here we go. He's the first guy to use the right-hand side of the course.
That's right.
Nice invert.
It's more of the skateboard side of things, where the skate park event was held. But it's free game. The riders use it. And you know, it's truly what the dirt jumpers do. You know, they look at things differently. They like to flow.
Yeah, you know, it's all about how you use the course. And you know what? We're seeing that trick more and more. It's called a bus drive. It's a bit different from a bar spin. They wind the bars with their hand, and it looks really slow and like they're never going to make it, but somehow he managed to pull it off. But good run for James, you know. He's been everywhere on this course.
But
nice and fast.
Let's also remember, this is his first final in Park.
You know what? And he's done himself a great deal of good here this weekend. He's had some bad accidents, but you know what? That run there just made everything for him. Laid down, fantastic.
And here's our next competitor, Rob Darden. And Rob shed 25 pounds. I was speaking to him earlier, and he says, Kenan, I am addicted to nutrition now.
Wow. There's something you don't see every day.
And Tiffany's down there as well. Tiff, you have something to add?
Yeah, you know what? He's taking this so seriously. He actually cooks his own meals while he's at all of these tour stops. I'm not kidding. He brings with him a mini kitchen to his hotel room. He's got the George Foreman, a small skillet, even a blender, so he can go back to his room and cook what he needs to eat. And you know what? It's actually paying off because it's the second final that we have seen Darden in this weekend.
And that's good, you know, just these athletes are always taken a little bit unseriously, and Rob just, you know, going out there and showing everybody how professional these guys are. You know, you have to be physically fit to enter these competitions. It's no joke. And in Cleveland this weekend, it's been ridiculously hot, at times close to 100 degrees. And if you're not fit, then it ain't happening. And that's big for Rob Darden. Wow, that is the first 720 I've seen over that 14-foot gap.
Oh,
Whoa.
slips a grip there with his left hand.
Yep, that is so uncharacteristic of Rob Darden. Super solid rider and starting out huge. That 720, Kenan, that was big.
You keeping score at home, James Foster score he posted earlier is an 86.83, and you know I don't know if Darden will be able to beat that.
This run is just a write-off now. He's you know, just with the body language, he's just a little bit detuned, and he's not in that groove like he was on that first hit.
It's just really the vert ramp dwarfs everything else, so your psyche totally changes with the way you ride. Here we are looking back at this weekend. BMX Dirt drops in and gets the job done, Jamie.
Yep, just a great start to the week for Steve McCann. I know he was super pumped to make this dirt final. And just doing great justice to himself with that no-handed 720 to turn down. Just see the reaction coming off that trick. That's big for him.
He finished in 4th place there, but now on vert, someone's knocking on Bestwick's door. It is Mr. McCann again, making the finals, but not only making the finals here with his smooth style, Jamie, getting 3rd place.
Yeah, that's an amazing feat for Stevie, you know. I know he had some big things lined up for last night, but to get that 3rd place podium finish was awesome for him. It's definitely going to spur him on today in that park contest.
What he's doing, but some energy drinks. When does this guy sleep? How is he performing at that level? It's awesome.
I think what's been the good thing about this weekend is everything has been so easy to adapt to. The vert ramp was great, the park course is set up for Stevie's type of riding, and the dirt jumps were the same. So just check out Stevie riding this course. Totally vert style in there, you know. No-handed 7 to turn down.
And
it's yeah, you know, he's got that vert flow going on. You know, I know he's been a park rider before, but I definitely feel that since he's been riding the vert ramp, it's helped his flow and direction just tremendous amount.
Set up for something big here.
Yeah, just got a little bit stuck on that no-hander over the 14-foot. Nice flip whip there. Whoa. Just you know, I think that last hit just didn't set him up for the flip whip. You know, he missed the no-hander.
He just moved to Greenville. A funny story, as I was finding out about him moving to Greenville, Marcus Tucker was kind of making fun of the fact that he doesn't know his way around. He was going to Ryan's skate park, the unit, and actually drove past it by 3 towns. So he's got to get a street map or get a
GPS on that car of his. But you know, Craig Mass, a phenomenal rider. He has the ability to go absolutely huge and tech too. So.
Oh yes!
Here we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Front flip up something so small.
It's a flat bank. When we, you know, obviously we'll see that on the replay, but you'll see its front wheel lift off super early, and that's how he makes it happen. Nice 3-whip over that box, but tagging that top, and he's lost a lot of speed going into this next hit.
Oh, and he shades the landing.
Exactly. It was that extra foot or 2 foot of air that he needed on that quarter pipe to get that hit done correctly over the box. But you know what, Ken? It doesn't look like it's slowing him down. He's straight back on. That's the good thing about Craig. He's straight back at it, straight with a triple whip. It's not having the luck here today, you know. A little bit going against him, but had some big things in that run. Definite big things. You know, the front flip was absolutely huge to start out with, but I definitely felt once he hung up on that 14-foot jump box, it affected him. You know, going for the next trick, the 720, it messed him up. And finally, the triple whip just didn't pan out. Look at his front wheel. He lifts up super early there, almost rolls on his back wheel, and that's how they get that snap. It's pretty intense, but it's the only way to do it.
Bunny hop front flip.
It almost is a bunny hop front flip. And here we go. He hits the top. It drains all of his speed. Now he gets a couple feet where he needed 3 or 4 to get that 720 in.
It's all about linking things. The kid who has his own style sticks to it. Jamie, you can elaborate on that style. This is Garrett Reynolds.
It is. You know, we wind the clock back a few years to the first Do Tour. Garrett's style was sort of frowned upon and overlooked by some of the guys. Although he made finals, it just didn't quite cut it with the way riding was going there. Nowadays, he's the one who's setting the pace. very progressive, crazy technical tricks, stuff you will never see out of any of the other guys. Starting out with that huge bar spin to no-handed 5, and this is what I'm talking about. He'll probably put in more bar spins than Ryan Nyquist will this afternoon, and that's saying a lot because, as everybody knows, Nyquist is the bar spin master, but Garrett Reynolds seems to be taking over that title.
And again, Garrett Reynolds using that wedge-style section of the skateboard course and the park course here for bikes.
Yep, he hasn't even hit the big jump box yet. That's an indication of how this guy rides. He's trying to use everything else, and now he'll work the boxes. Nice. Bar spin to late tabletop. Super original trick there for Garrett. And a flare off of nothing. That's the actual landing to the super kicker.
Garrett Reynolds throwing a great run the whole course, and the judges are looking for that. You get rewarded when you flow the entire bit of real estate we have out here in Cleveland.
Great finish there for Garrett, no-handed fakie. Nobody else will be doing those kind of tricks today, but he definitely didn't leave any ramp untouched out on this park course today, Kenan. Super technical, you know, about to see some of the best highlights from this run, but phenomenal, you know, for such a young age. He's doing such great things on BMX bikes. Watch this, here we go. Bar spin, got to get it in quick, straight to the tuck no-hander. Very, very difficult trick. And here we go, bar spin, catch tabletop. Wow. And a nice big flare to finish, and it's just coming off nothing, and look at the height he gets. You know, he almost lands on the deck. That's how laid back that transition is. You have to pull off such a lot.
Ryan Nyquist. Now, Ryan's career has been peppered with so much success. These days in park, though, it's a lot more work to get at the top of that podium. He's won in Baltimore for dirt, got banged up in dirt here in Cleveland, went for a 720 double bar spin. It didn't work out like it did in Baltimore. What does he need to do here today in park?
He knows exactly what he needs to do. He can't leave any ramp untouched. He's got to go big. 720 double bar spin may come into play. And just starting out big with that huge suicide no-handed 360. And Nyquist, 270 wall ride out there. Just this unthinkable curved wall ride. And here we go, 720. Didn't have a bar spin in it, but I think Ryan's just wanting to get a good run under his belt because he's seen all the other guys have made several mistakes during the course of their runs.
It'll be the best run that propels you atop that leaderboard. They throw away the score that doesn't work out for you. And Ryan Nyquist is hitting him. He's a rider that's got so many tricks. He can really go out there and bar spinning, transfer there to 360.
But he did repeat a couple of tricks. One was the suicide 360. He just hit that over the spine. But nice there. Added a little bit of a Superman on the 360 downside whip. Amazing to see Nyquist do that kind of stuff. You know, it's very uncharacteristic of him, and that is the only bar spin 5 you will see on that 10-foot quarter all day.
Have been waiting all day. The rumor mill has been just flinging all over the place. Mike Spinner, will he do the quad whip? That we are about to find out, because speaking with him, with his manager Brad Leslie, Brad said he's going to drop in and send it straight away. The reason for that, Jamie, is he does not want to get tired. You have to have the energy.
He has to do it first off. That's the only way you can do it. It's such a physical trick. What you're about to see is just mind-blowing. So he needs the crowd. He needs the energy. He's got to get it. Wow! Kenan, that was it. All right, Mike. I hate to say this, you got that done, so let's get it going now. Wow! Oh my word, Kenan, this is unbelievable.
He has turned the park course into a slaughterhouse.
Wow!
Oh no, and he goes down
on the triple tail whip there. Mike Spinner really needs to pick up the pace now if he's going to be a threat to Daniel Ders. You know, that quad whip was absolutely astounding. Nobody in this booth thought he would do it that smooth. straight away, but he's got some work to do, you know, to put pressure on Daniel right now.
And he learned that trick. He learned a quad whip just a few weeks ago. It's July 4th weekend. He pulled it at Mira's training facility in Greenville.
Yep, I was definitely there the day when he dished it out at Woodward into the foam pits. It was a treat to see, and it's a beautiful thing to see in Cleveland, Ohio today, you know.
But he followed it up with a 1080. I mean, that was going to be the run of the century.
It definitely had all the hallmarks of being the best run today, and we're going to have to go super slow-mo on this quad whip. All right, Kenan, he called it out, and he did it to perfection. One tail whip, there's the second. The third is fantastic, but four is ridiculous. And those pedals did not move, and he stuck that landing. Wow, here we go. 1, 2 again. 3's just, I mean, I would be so over the moon if I pulled a triple tail whip, but 4 is just unheard of. And then here we go again, just for the road. Look at the concentration. His arms are furiously whipping that bike around and trying to figure out how he's going to get on that bike and spot the landing, and doing it perfect. That is textbook quad tail whip, and I can safely say he'll be the only guy doing it in Cleveland, Ohio today.
Here's him watching the replay. Another solid run. He had that bobble. And as I mentioned, Ryan Gutler,
yes,
currently ranked second, coming back.
Great to see Ryan back on top of his riding again. Had a tough time in 06 after that phenomenal year that he put together in the 2005. But you know, looking good. You know, strong finish in Baltimore. He's definitely got a lot of the bangers, and he's one of the guys who can break over 90. You know, and that's what needs to happen today. Somebody needs to punch a big score, and wow!
Ryan going down on a 1080. We have the AST medical staff on hand, the best staff. They are so knowledgeable. We're just going to lay out and see how he is.
How many? One?
So Gutler now making his way off the course and going down, Jamie, on a 1080. And you know this from experience when you see a competitor like Spinner throw down the quad whip, you know you have to bring some big get up. That focus.
He's just trying to get Ryan's crash out of his mind right now. You know, that was a big deal, and
getting his mind into shape doesn't seem to be a problem for him. Look at the results here over the history of his performance in the Dew Tour. Lots of firsts. The worst he did was fourth place. Can you imagine?
That was the time when Spinner did the actually Portland was where he got third for the 1080. Fourth, Portland, just didn't happen.
This is tough. I mean, you know, Gutler going down right before, but he is so strong. He's a rider who reminds me of Ryan Nyquist with that kind of mental strength that he possesses, and he's going through. You see him going through all of his tricks.
Yep. Right now, he's got the advantage of going last, and he's seen everybody go. There's not been a serious threat score put out there already. Nyquist has a 96.7. Daniel's just going to go out there and just smash that score out the park.
If you've never seen him ride, you know, buckle in, because he is fast. He'll hit everything out there.
It's definitely going to be a wild ride, but he knows how to keep it together, you know. Nice start for Daniel. Starting absolutely huge. Wow. X up 720. Daniel is definitely taking charge of this contest. He's seen the guys that have gone before him and the mistakes they've made, and he is capitalizing right now. Wow.
This is insane. He is, you know, he may be in the middle of that course, but he's throwing down some original and difficult tricks.
Yes, he is, and that was a huge transfer. Definitely needs to start working the second half of the course, but it looks like he's going to start making his way there soon. Wow, that is ridiculously high cannon. No foot can to late tail whip. Big flare for Daniel Ders. Wow.
You know, the level of difficulty we're seeing out of Daniel and the amount of consistency, yes!
Non-stop till the end. That's Daniel Ders' forte, you know. He will keep going and going and going. You know what? He knew everybody had had a rough time in that first outing. He's definitely capitalized. This one is going to, hands down, beat Nyquist's score. You know, it was packed full of super technical 720 tricks, stuff that nobody else is going to do.
James Foster looking down in his trusty iron steed, chromoly steed, and he's about to drop in. The battered, he's bruised. He's doing good, though.
He is doing good, you know, and he's definitely going to try and improve on that first run. You know, missed a couple of tricks out. Let's see if he gets them second time out. Whoa! Nice, yeah, nice flip whip for James Foster, but seems to be having the same trouble as Steve McCann did early on. His cranks seem to spin. Nice bar spin to bar spin back transfer.
It also threw him off his line. You see him took a diversion there.
Yeah,
you know, he didn't have that plan.
He did. Whoa, going a little bit wide on that no-handed transfer there, but making his way back to the middle of the park, Cannon. A lot of guys are focusing on this big jump bug section. Nice double whip. What do we got? Nice 360 downside whip. Not quite pulling it off as smooth as he wanted to, but nevertheless, you know, he's putting out some big tricks there. It's just whether or not the judges are going to reward him for that. Didn't make the tricks as clean as he possibly could.
Well, I think it's fair to say that he's definitely competing at the level he's at with Mark riding. He's doing as best he can. He's going to need to add to his riding. He's really going to have to, some other riders made their presence felt.
Drew Bonanza, nice no foot can to late tail whip. And this is the biggest gap. Wow, double tail whip transfer from the landing of the step down into the vert wall.
And he actually moved himself up.
Look at this, Cannon.
Fourth place, and that was so technical.
So technical. Bar spin catch, bar spin, 180.
It's Rob Darden, and I was announcing with TJ Lavin on Friday night in Dirt, and we saw Rob Darden, and he goes, man, most guys gain weight when they get married, and Darden loses it. He lost 25 pounds. The guy's a machine these days, making it to the final, so it's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to see, you know, he seems to be taking things a little bit more serious these days, and, you know, that first run didn't go his way, but he has one chance left. I definitely feel out of anybody in the park course today, he can make up a lot of ground in his riding.
Way back in 2001.
There we go. He has struggled with that all throughout qualifying and his first run, and hitting that 720. Beautiful 720.
You know, not to put it down on Darden in 2001 actually hurt his ACL. He doesn't have an ACL.
Look at that transfer line, Kenan.
Oh, yeah.
Can't really see it on our screens at the minute, but that is a big line. It's the gap from the top of the sub where the box jumps are into the spine ramp. It's got to be at least 14 feet bunny hop. Good run for Rob. Definitely putting some pressure on his score at the minute. A nice transfer line. Huge 360 turn down.
And Darden's also a rider who is progressive in the sport. A few years back, you know, he was the one who
nice flare there.
Did the bar spin to tail whip.
Nice.
Oh, bunny hop.
Yeah, 360 bar spin bunny hop in. Great run for Rob there. Definite bangers in that run.
He is relaxed. He has a chance here to really move things around.
Needs to get it going early on, you know, doesn't need any bobbles. Nice alley-oop invert there. 720 to no-handed turn down. Just got to get it going, you know, needs that confidence. First 15 to 20 seconds, needs to put it together without any mistakes.
Well, he's got a big month coming up. X Games are not too far away, plus the Portland event.
Wow.
I think he's trying to stay healthy here, Jamie.
I think so too, but that's twice he's really slowed up on that 360 whip over that kicker.
Yeah, but normally we'll see a double tail whip, and
there it is.
Double tail whip 360,
Yeah.
but normally a double tail whip on that quarter pipe. Haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet, but there's still time, Kenan. He's got some good tricks he can do, like that.
Oh.
No having the 720 over the spine, didn't catch any transition at all.
Where we saw Took
but
catch a lot.
But it's still a hard trick. This could be the double whip.
And we're seeing it, so he is accumulating some points here this weekend. Remember, we are in the midst of an incredible, park competition. So much going down. Craig Mass now about to drop in for his second run.
Yep, sitting in 11th place, not his favorite spot, but definitely he has the tricks that can move him up the leaderboard, you know. And Kenan, just looking back on the other day when TJ did the Soldier song, what a phenomenal night, you know. It was tremendous to see all the support that's come out there, and Simon Tabron helping out with the guitar playing, and you know, also the riders have got together with the some of the organizers and Aaron Cook and formed the Athlete Recovery Fund, which is a huge benefit for all the riders moving forward in these sports. Craig Mass starting strong again. We like that front flip up, the step up, straight to a double whip. Looks like he's got it going this time, Kenan.
Definitely, he's got some big airs.
Yeah,
nice
got the speed. This is
tail
it,
whip.
720.
Oh!
Yeah, oh!
Little slip.
You know what? He just seems to be taking off a little too slow on that 720. It's not bringing him out at the end, you know. He's struggling to find that last 180.
Right, the whole thing with the 720, it's in the pop.
There it is, triple whip.
No problem there.
Yeah, not at all. It's a great run for Mass. Sticking it solid. Both him and Garrett Reynolds have that trick on lock. It's such a ridiculously low bank. It has no kicker to it whatsoever. Nice double whip to finish. Great run for Craig.
He had a strong showing this first run with an 89.83 in ninth place. Now Garrett Reynolds is going to drop in for that second. The younger rider.
One of the more tech riders.
Right, and he needs, but you know, the tech, he needs to add maybe a bigger trick to kind of help him get into that mid-pack in this particular event.
He does have the bigger tricks, but like I say, his riding style.
Wait a second,
there it is,
trick.
900.
Knocked me right up.
I'm afraid it did, Kenan. Whoa! Wow. 360 bar spin to bar spin over that hip. So good. No, he's doing tricks that people would do over the box on flat banks. This is his forte. Look at this. Downside whip on a flat bank. None of these ramps have any transition to them at all. So it's pretty much a bunny hop trick. And look at that, 540 bar spin. This kid's good, Kenan. This kid's real good.
Oh, he's really
wow.
Well, there's a wow. I was just going to say, you know, he's really got such skills. You know, there's no brakes on that bike, and to be spinning that much, sometimes you tap that back brake to keep from looping out. So you've got to be dialed.
Yeah, not forget Reynolds. Just missing out on that bar spin out of the no-handed air, but coming back strong with the bar-to-bar over the spine. Finishing with a nice whip. That is a huge run. I definitely feel that the 900 at the beginning of the run is going to be a huge factor in his score today.
Right now, he is in ninth place. Jamie,
watch this, Kenan. Watch this. This is big. Huge spin. Look at the contortion on his head, spotting the landing perfect and getting straight back into his run. Watch this, bar, bar. You've got to have very, very fast hands. And this is just one of my favorites of today. Bar spin, tabletop. Beautiful.
Guy is like a pickpocket. He has such fast hands. Is getting ready to drop in, and Jamie, we're seeing so much jockeying for position on that podium. There's Daniel Dares still sitting atop, but man, from second down, everybody's been battling. They want a piece of the action. What does he need to do? What does Nyquist need to do here?
Nyquist needs to hit some of his bigger tricks.
Like what? What big trick would you like to see out of him?
720 double bar spin, the Powerball, that's the cannonball double bar spin. Definite favorite. Came out in Baltimore and pulled to perfection there. Will we see it this afternoon? Because those are the factors that are going to put Nyquist in the chase for this win today.
You see them, they'll be on the box jump.
Bit of a rough start for Ryan there. Whoa! Oh, that was big. That was huge. 270 out of the curve wall ride. Put a bar spin in too. There it is! Wow!
Just missed it, put his foot down and just slides out.
He needed that trick, Kenan. He needed that trick. He knew he had to go for it. In order to get in that top three today, had to have a big trick.
And that's just testament to Nyquist. You know, I mean, the guy knows how to win contests, knows how to throw down some difficult runs.
He's still going to go for it, you know, because he obviously wants to hold down that fourth place spot, because the points right now are crucial to him. And, wow, I'm definitely going to have to check the slow-mo on that one, because that was something else. But coming back strong with a bar spin flip. Nyquist needs to hold down fourth spot. Still needs to put pressure on Spinner, because Spinner has it all to play for. And was that two?
It looked like it was. If he can do that can upset Daniel Dares' lead. Jamie, it is Mike Spinner. Dares is still going through the motions. He's still planning on doing a solid run. Right now, though, the intensity and the pressure is all on Spinner. He's going to expect to lay down that quad whip again.
Spinner knows he's got to pull the quad whip again, but the quad whip isn't the deciding factor for this contest. Mike Spinner has to back it up with his very best run. Now it's going to be tough for him, you know, because Daniel has a lot in reserve. He has some even bigger tricks than he laid out in his first run, and Mike knows this. But Mike is definitely going to put the heat on him in this run.
Can he get better than a 92.67?
Spinner can get better than a 92.67, but also Daniel can get better than a 92.67. It all depends on what happens after this quad whip. Here we go, Cannon.
Going for a triple
whip.
Not what he needed.
Fell off on a triple whip. How weird is that?
You know, he was doing those in practice, Jamie.
Whoa, you know, 1080, there just seems to be something subdued about this run,
You know, I saw this in Baltimore when we watched Park Finals. You know, sometimes he gives up, and I don't understand why. But
wow, that was huge. Triple whip air. Incredible. Nice. Turn down to X up 540. That's a nice looking trick there from Mike. Yeah, how strange. It just seems to like he's not got that go for it attitude like he did in his first run. I mean, big 720. That he landed that perfect.
Yeah,
that was
some
real
great
good,
tricks, Jamie. But you know, at the end of the day, you're in a competition. I'd like to see him keep up that level of intensity that he showed with that first run.
It just didn't seem to any. It doesn't have that fire, you know. He doesn't have that ale, and it's great to see. You know, he's a good ambassador for the sport. He's a great rider, very progressive. And I definitely don't feel that this is going to be a victory lap. He's got some tricks in the bag. He's not going to bring the big ones out. Obviously wants to save them for Portland, but he's going to give everybody a taste of the Daniel Dares show.
Yeah, well, you know, he's a really tough competitor, real focused. He spent a lot of time at Woodward Camp all alone, lived there in the wintertime. There was no kitchen, so he bought himself a microwave and would heat up water and throw pasta in it, throw it back in. He lived off pasta for like 2 months. When he went back to Venezuela, his mom said, "What is this, an X-ray?" She had to fatten him back up. He's a skinny dude to begin with.
Yeah, it's not as, the viewers at home, it's not as much as a sob story as Kennan's really putting on.
Oh, yeah?
This guy drives a super nice car, and he's got the watches and all the jewels.
Wait a second, not when he first came to the country. I saw the car he was driving. It was definitely a beater. Now he's icing things up, and icing it up on the course.
Nice. Daniel Dares putting on a fantastic show for the crowd in Cleveland today. He's just a real strong competitor, you know. He will never let go. He always wants to win, win, win. And it's great to see, you know, because obviously we saw Mike Spinner just give up, and that's just not in Daniel, that's his Venezuelan name, by the way. It's just not in his mindset. You know, he goes out to win. Anybody who watched the Baltimore contest, his first run was an absolute disaster. But he's mentally tough enough to come back and take that fight.
Or a look-back transfer as well. That's a huge gap. You're taking off from a quarter pipe, which is basically on the deck of the course. You're going across the mouth of that gap, that capsule right there, and landing on